Well, it's that time. The first clinching scenarios for the 2021 NFL season are out, and they're very interesting. Now, before I get into that, let's look at the playoff picture. With 5 weeks to go, counting the upcoming week 14, and here it is: the AFC, the Patriots are leading the conference at 9-4. Then we have three 8-4 teams following that: Titans, Ravens, and Chiefs, and that is the order. Tennessee and Baltimore both beat Kansas City this year, and it's Tennessee's conference record that keeps them at number two. Baltimore's three, and Kansas City's four. In wild card positions, it's the Chargers, Bengals, and Bills all at 7-5. The Chargers' victory over the Bengals this past Sunday puts them ahead of the pack at the number five spot. Since he's at number six, because they, like the Chargers, have a better conference record than the Bills. Bills went from leading the AFC East for weeks to now hanging on to the number seven spot, which they lead by half a game over the 6-5-1 Pittsburgh Steelers. The Colts also knock on the door at 7-6. The Raiders, Browns, and Broncos are 6-6 each, and even Miami has a chance, 6-7. Interesting. Um, in the NFC, Cardinals lead at 10-2, the only 10-win team at the moment. Packers and Bucks are right behind at 9-3. Packers' conference record keeps us ahead of Tampa Bay. Dallas still leads the NFC East at 8-4. They hold the number four position. The wild card positions, the Rams also 8-4. Their win kept them in pace with the Cardinals. Washington and the Niners are 6-6 each, and Washington's conference record keeps them ahead of the Niners. The Eagles have been on a bit of a winning tear lately. They're right outside the playoff line at 6-7, and the Vikings, Panthers, Falcons, and Saints all at 5-7. It's the Vikings who hold the tiebreaker over all the NFC South teams that have that record, and the NFC is so crazy. Literally, everybody is mathematically alive. So the only one that realistically doesn't have a chance is the team that got their first win this season just a few days ago, the Detroit Lions. But at least they're not winless, so that's a good thing. Now, as for the clinchings, those spots in the AFC can be clinched, but three in the NFC have a chance to get in. Of course, let me just go over the format. Of course, you know how this goes. This is the second year of this. 7 teams in each conference qualify for the playoffs, totaling 14 in all. It's 4 division winners and 3 wildcard spots, and only the top seed in each conference gets a bye. In contrast to the format that existed from 1990 to 29 until the 2019 season, where the top 2 teams in each conference have a bye, and the other 4 have to play a wildcard weekend. Of course, now it's 6 teams in each conference playing wildcard weekend, totaling 6 games overall, if you count both conferences. We had Super Wildcard Weekend. They call it that now. So that's the format. It's the second season of this format, and again, 3 teams can clinch, all in the NFC. And I will start by order of standings, and I will start with the Cardinals. I said the Cardinals entered this week at 10-2, leading the NFC West by 2 games over the Rams. Despite this, they cannot win the division this week, but they can get close. They can't get in the playoffs. All they have to do is win or tie. The Cardinals host the Rams on Monday Night Football, and they already have one win against the Rams at Sophie Stadium earlier this year. So if they win that game, not only will they get in the playoffs, but they will be in the driver's seat. They can clinch the division as soon as Week 15. Now the Cardinals can actually get in the postseason before they take the field on Monday. There's 3 ways. Another way involves a Minnesota loss or tie with a San Francisco loss, or a Minnesota loss or tie and a Saints loss or tie, or Panthers loss or tie. And the other way is a San Francisco loss, a New Orleans loss or tie, and if the Panthers Falcons game ends tied, And of course, ties have to be involved in scenarios because even though they're rare, they do happen. Just ask the Lions and Steelers. But yeah. So that's three different ways, and it does reveal one of the games. The Panthers and the Falcons do play each other this week. The Saints face the Jets, so you can forget about the Saints losing. The Niners face Cincinnati, and of course, Minnesota hosts the Steelers on Thursday Night Football. Next up, the Green Bay Packers. Packers are 9-3, lead the division by a whopping, I think it's 4 games. I think we have the largest division lead in the league. We lead by 4. We lead by 4 games. That's right. Even the NFC East is better. Over the Vikings, the second place Vikings, the distant second place Vikings. 2 divisions can be clinched this upcoming week, and one of them is the NFC North. But first, we can at least get in the playoffs. A Saints loss or tie, and either a San Francisco loss or a Rams loss coupled with a San Francisco tie. But in order to win the division, it's simple. We win, the Vikings lose or tie, we own the North again. If we tie, Minnesota has to lose. We host the Bears. We host the Bears on Sunday Night Football. So again, the road to another division title, which would be our third in a row, could start with Thursday Night Football. If Pittsburgh takes care of business, and they will. All we have to do is win. Plain and simple. And last but not least, the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers can win the NFC South this week because they actually have that same lead in their division. It's 4 games because they're 9-3, and everybody else has divisions 5-7 each. And yeah, it's pretty wild. But anyway, they're behind the Packers in the conference standings, but they're not playing a conference game this week. They're playing against the Bills. They're hosting the Bills. But the road to clinching the division is kind of long. And the clinch a playoff berth is even longer, and it's weird. In order for Tampa to clinch a playoff spot this week, they have to tie. Yes, that's what it says. They have to tie. Carolina has to lose. New Orleans has to lose. Minnesota has to lose. And the Niners have to lose or tie. And Washington has to lose or tie. That's a lot. Washington's in this equation. They host Dallas. They host Dallas. The first of 5 straight division games to end Washington's regular season. I have to say regular season because they are still alive in this playoff race. But yeah, all that has to happen. And in order for Tampa to win the division, they have to win. New Orleans has to lose or tie, and Carolina has to lose or tie. And again, the Saints are playing the Jets, so Tampa's going to have to wait a week to get in the playoffs because there's no way in hell the Jets are winning. Nobody loses to the Jets. So, yeah, so it's pretty interesting. Like I said, 3 teams can get in, 2 divisions can be clinched, but I think only 1 is. So, it's going to be fun. I love playoffs. I love clinching scenarios because that's what makes December football fun. December and partially January football fun. To see who can get in because it's always if this happens, then this happens. Simple as that. So, of course, I'll keep track of all scenarios, not just ours, but plus Arizona and Tampa Bay. That's pretty important. Those 2 of the Packers are in a race for number 1. So I got to keep an eye on that. Arizona hosting the Rams. The Rams could pull it out, but they needed to blow out a piss poor Jaguars team just to end the 3-game losing skid. That doesn't help their case, but I hope they pull it out in Arizona on Monday. So anyway, those are the clinching scenarios. And those are clinching scenarios for Week 14. And I will recap the CFL's Division Finals later this week. So stay tuned.